Howdy neighbors, David here. Today on Boondock Stallions, I'm live streaming because I finally hooked up the damn cord to my Wi-Fi or to my router instead of streaming off the Wi-Fi. So this should go off pretty much without a hitch. The only thing going on here will be the new puppy in the kennel with my older dog, and the two of them are having a blast. So today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who. I watched the episode 2 times, and I'm not going to lie to you, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. I was really, really happy with it. The writing has improved somewhat, and I'm not going to say that any of the problems on it were done by the actors. It's really more Chris Chibnall. And guys, shh. Oh, you know what? Hold on just 1 second here. Thank you. Jodie Whittaker, John Barrowman, everybody did a great job. I was really happy with how everything went down. First things first, it was a really good episode, and I liked it, but we're going to talk about things that were wrong with it. I've got kind of a friendly fire. All my notes are really some criticisms and some positive things and some theories that I've got going on for later. So before we get started, give the video a like or dislike, hit subscribe, and here we go. So first things first, let's talk about the music. I hate the music on the new series of Doctor Who. It's not nearly as good as it used to be. It doesn't really hook you emotionally. There's no feeling. I guess the way Murray Gold used to do the music for Doctor Who kind of reminds me of John Williams, the way he scores the Star Wars movies. He likes to attach what he calls emotional anchors to different characters so that those same little anchors can be replayed and reinterpreted through different instruments and different melodies and rearranged in a different way so that you can play them for different characters at different times in the series, but still have it call back to the first time or another time that you might have heard the music. And that's really what's lacking, is an emotional anchor. It's all ominous tones. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but it's just dark, ominous tones. Dun, dun, dun. Daleks come into the room. Dun, 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 dun. Something sad happens. There's a little violin. I can hear it. I can hear it. There's no emotion in the music. Let's get a little bit of emotion in the music. It's all I really want. So Robertson's back from the Arachnids in the UK episode. I was really happy with him. A lot of people don't like the character, but he's a very well-written bad guy, and I love a really good bad guy. Somebody that you can love to hate, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But he's back, and this time he starts off by killing somebody. I don't like that he ended up killing the guy transporting the shell of the Dalek from one place to another. Like, it was a real out there Lex Luthor from the original Superman movie kind of way. He had somebody set up a tea shop, sandwiches, sweets, the whole 9 yards. And then you show up, this guy buys his drink, he's poisoned, and he dies. The person closes up shop, gets rid of the body, disposes of it, and takes everything back. Like, he's rich. Like, couldn't you bribe him? Do you not understand how bribes work? Like, bribery. It seems like the thing to do. I mean, honestly, I could probably be bought if you named the right price, and I know I can. It's happened before. No comment on that. Anywho, so I was really upset that Robertson started off the episode by killing this guy when he could have easily bribed him, but that's not the point. The point is that it was a Dalek shell, and it was the Dalek shell from the previous episode, or the previous New Year's special, Resolution, where the Doctor and Yaz and the Team Gang fam stopped that one Dalek, and they salvaged the shell and copied it, and Robertson was using it to make kind of warrior drone kind of things. You two, knock it off. Sorry. Where was I? The Dalek body. Oh, yeah. So it's a sequel to the last New Year special. And actually, it's not just a sequel. I'm wondering if it's going to be a 3-parter, like a Dalek trilogy, starting from one New Year's to this New Year to next New Year. And as Jodie Whittaker has been rumored to be leaving the role of Doctor Who, which I'm upset about. Jodie Whittaker was a fine doctor. She was a fine actress. She's really good at what she does. The Problem is the writing. It's sloppy. It's lazy. Let's not deny it. None of the actors, none of the cinematographers, or anybody else, but the writing is really what's the problem. And like really, BBC, like y'all could have put your foot down and said, "Hey, step up your game. Don't give us longer episodes. Give us better episodes. If y'all could cut it down to half an hour and just condense all that material, it would be fantastic." Sorry to rip off Eccleston, but anywho, I feel like the writing has just gotten lazy, and you wasted a really good actress in Jodie Whittaker because, like I said, there was never anything wrong with her performance as the Doctor. The monsters have been original and, like I said, poorly written because the monsters have really been interesting for the most part. It's just the storyline surrounding them. And, like, you know what? The Pating was back, and the Pating, I. I hate the Pating just a little bit. Like, first of all, the name Pating is like the laziest thing in the world. Russell T Davies gave us Rexicoricofallapatorius and Clomp. But the Pating was awful. The Pating is the sound that garbage idea of a name should have made as it ricocheted off the trash can and right to the bottom of the bin. Pating! And that should have been the end of it. Like when you spit into the thing in the Old West in the movies. I've seen it. So the Pating was back. Actually, there were a lot of old villains from old era and new era crammed into the prison that the Doctor was in. And so my problem with that is that she was in there for over 20 years. Over 20 years. And I say over 20 years because, first of all, Lord knows how long it took for Jack to find what prison she was in. But let's think about how it took him 19 years to get into the cell next to hers. So we know that she was gone for decades. And so I've seen the Doctor get out of these situations a lot quicker. I mean, she just decided, you know what, I really needed this and took a break. I don't think so. If you can get River Song out of the most sophisticated and advanced prison of all time, then you yourself should have been able to get out of this prison. But whatever, that's just me rambling on about it. And the Pating couldn't eat through it. The mighty Pating. Do you not remember that episode that nobody liked with the Pating and how it was going to eat every single thing in sight? It even took out the sonic screwdriver. But it couldn't get through that prison. The Doctor knows because she couldn't eat her way out either. And Jack was back. Oh my God. John Barrowman is amazing, as always. I love John Barrowman. I feel like a lot of his scenes, though, were just him giving callbacks to previous episodes. We're like, hey, guys, remember when we did this? And hey, kids, do you remember when we did that? It was, I could have done more with Jack. And speaking of more with Jack, why was his exit from the episode so unceremonious? I mean, I'm not trying to stand on tradition or anything, but like, you didn't even get to tell him goodbye. There was no hug. There was no high five, fist bump, blow it up. None of that. It was just they were on a phone call, and Gwen sends her love. Because remember, Gwen, we love her. Now I'm going to go see what she's doing, and hinting at the possible torture reunion that we're never going to get. Give us a Torchwood reunion. We need it. We deserve it. Like, I feel right now should be the Miracle Day time. Like, this should be the day. This year, was the year the Doctor was gone. Like, or last year, sorry, 2020. But, okay, so the Pating's back. I love that there's a Harry Potter reference in there. She starts off by reading the very first words from the very first chapter of The Philosopher's Stone, the very first book. So I was really happy with that because I love Harry Potter. I'm a nerd. I'm a Slytherin, if you couldn't tell, because I'm a monster. So there's a rumor that Yaz and the Doctor are to be romantically linked. Now, this has been rumors and speculation going on since we found out that we were getting a female Doctor anyways, but I don't disapprove of this idea. I like the idea because I don't feel like the Doctor actually has a sexuality, and as the Doctor has spent so many years as a man and having a preference for women, I don't see why it would mean to be an immediate change from one regeneration to the other. It's different. Everybody, different strokes for different Time Lords or ladies, people. Anywho, so I don't really have a problem with it, but I think, and try not to crucify me here, I think they should just go for it. Give us that The Doctor is in love with Yaz. Yaz is in love with the Doctor, and I mean it's there. If you saw that awkward reunion whenever the Doctor showed up and the Team Gang Fam was there, you were expecting hugs and tears. And what does Yaz do? She violently just shoves the Doctor. She just pushes her and was like, "Where the hell have you been?" And she's upset and she's very passionate and she looks hurt and she loves her. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit more than just a friendship, but she loves her and she missed her. And I feel like they should really explore that for this next season because if it's true that Jodie Whittaker is regenerating at the end of the season, either I feel like it'll either be she regenerates at the end of this season or she does the next New Year's special. But at the same time, what if she does leave at the end of the season and in the next New Year's special, it's the third part of the Dalek trilogy, and instead of having to repeat the same old story, look, I know everybody loves it when we get a new doctor, but that first episode is always a little crap. I mean, I love the Christmas invasion, but there's a little bit of crap going on because, like, either the doctor's not there, or the doctor's completely useless, or the doctor hasn't really figured out who they are, and I'm still cooking, or I'm not done yet, and we have to figure out who the hell this version of the doctor is. I think this next one, there should be a regeneration and the Dalek problem, and the doctor does not have time to do the whole thing. The doctor should just boom, start, regenerate, and hit the ground running. But I think that they should this time regenerate back into a guy. And the reason that I think that the doctor should go back into being a guy is simply for the drama of breaking up with Yaz. Because, I mean, obviously the doctor wouldn't break up with Yaz, but what if Yaz, in love with Jodie Whittaker's doctor, refuses to accept the regeneration? She was in love. This was the love of her life. This was her everything, and she regenerated and is now a man, and she's a lesbian. I mean, why is she gonna, I mean, if she's a lesbian, sorry, obviously she's gonna be like, well, no, I was in love with you as a woman, that version of you, and that one's gone, and the doctor, realizes that everything has its time and everything dies, even relationships. So I feel like it would be a very dramatic and powerful way for Yaz to exit the TARDIS and give us a little bit more emotion, because that's what we're missing. We're missing emotion. Where's the heart of Doctor Who? The Doctor has two hearts, and we're not getting any of it in the episodes. And I noticed that Jodie Whittaker does best when she's getting angrier. And so if she's being angry, then let's make some more episodes where she's going to be angry. And I mean, I'm not just saying she'll be angry all the time. I'm just saying, like, she's giving some of her best performances when she's pissed off. And so I feel like maybe we should try to shine in on that, because the old doctors tended to get angry all the time. And so, angry. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm angry. I don't know. A little inflection. What do you guys think? So let's see. Jack's vortex manipulator. Once again, it was a brilliant gag. I laughed. I loved it. But it was another callback to season 1 where they're on the TV show, and they're like, "Where did you get that in?" You really don't want to know, and that's how he snuck in the vortex manipulator, because it's Jack. Leo was one of the people who worked for Robertson. He was the guy who modeled the drones on the Daleks' shell, and he cloned Dalek DNA from almost nothing and basically brought all the Daleks back. But he was really smart. He was really funny, and I really enjoyed that character for what time he got on screen. And I feel like he was a waste of character. He was a waste of a character because he would have been an awesome companion. He would have done awesome with the Doctor on the TARDIS in time and space. But they killed him because, Daleks are Daleks, and that's what happens. And so I was really upset that he was gone. I feel like the Dalek really built everything up in a short amount of time. They don't really say how much time passes between the time the one Dalek is cloned and plugs into the internet and all of their computers and their whole neural network and all that. But how quickly did he get that building renovated with clones upon clones upon clones upon clones of Daleks and the specifications to fix the drones so that they would house the Dalek bodies once they were done and ready to go. Like, it was a really quick thing, and so I was a little concerned there wasn't much time or explained on that. And once again, there was a Jack name drop for Rose, but when Jack and Yaz had a few minutes to themselves, they ended up going out on a nice little adventure, and you got to see Jack compare his feelings for the Doctor to Yaz's experience with missing the Doctor and how she reacted when she saw her. And so I feel like Jack knows that Yaz is dealing with some feelings for the Doctor that she doesn't fully understand, or maybe isn't ready to understand that she's in love with the Doctor. By the way, I'm in love with the Doctor. This is my Jodie Whittaker Doctor coffee mug. It's awesome, and I know y'all can't see it right now, but I also have uh, a matching backpack because accessories. Am I right? Am I right? High five. Right, it's just me. So why does nobody remember the Daleks? I get it's been since 2008-ish. Yeah, 2008 when David Tennant's last season or season 4 ended and the Stolen Earth and all that happened. But the Daleks invaded. People saw the Daleks. As a matter of fact, Matt Smith's Doctor even comments on it in season 5 when Amy doesn't remember the Daleks. He says that you should remember the Daleks. Even the astronaut lady that ended up shooting herself in the head because of the Time Lord Victorious during the waters of Mars, she commented on seeing a Dalek when she was a child and how it didn't kill her, it let her go while it was killing everybody else on the streets. And even everybody remembers the Daleks, and yet here we are in Revolution of the Daleks, and there are these drones being sent out by the British government, and nobody recognizes what they are. Nobody mentions it and goes, "Oh, hey, those look like those things that invaded the planet." Remember that time we ran into their star system? And they don't comment on it. They don't say anything. So I feel like, once again, it's a little bit of lazy writing. They usually tend to somehow find a way to work these past events into current events or reference them at some point. And I'm not saying they have to reference every single thing, but I mean, if almost every other line of dialogue out of Jack's mouth is a name drop to previous episodes, then I mean, you're clearly comfortable with putting in name drops to previous episodes. Chris Chibnall, get your shit together. Blah 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 blah. I know Robertson's not a companion on the TARDIS or in the TARDIS, on the TARDIS, whatever. He's not one of the Doctor's companions, but he does get to take a ride inside that bad girl anyways. And not once do we get to hear the line, "Oh, hey, it's bigger on the inside." What happened to "it's bigger on the inside"? I loved "it's bigger on the inside." And I don't know why, but I can feel my best friend saying, "It's what your mom said," somewhere in the comments. Jerk. I do love that they referenced Star Trek. There was a big reference to Star Trek. If you don't know what it is, it was when the Daleks were first activated and had their little squid thingies put in their bodies. The first 3 people killed on screen were all wearing red shirts, and as classic with any old Star Trek TV series, your random red shirts are always the ones to die. I love that in order to beat these mutant Daleks, the Doctor called the Prime Daleks, or what she calls the SAS Daleks. How badass is it that you're like, you know what? I'm going to fight fire with fire. Call the Daleks. The pure ones will come exterminate these guys and then book out of here. And then Robertson, once again proving to be a delicious villain, sells out the entire human race to the Daleks, not realizing that he's going to be killed by the Daleks. I mean, he doesn't. He survives, And there's even talk about him running for president yet again, which is actually really interesting because it symbolizes that he didn't win the election and would in fact run for president again in the following election. And I don't know if y'all are familiar with current events, but yeah, there's that. So uh, I feel like that could come up in the third if there is a trilogy of these Dalek episodes to come out. And so now the Doctor's gotten rid of the other Daleks by having the SAS Daleks wipe them out and has to get rid of these current Daleks because, like I said, Robertson's a douche and he sold her and the human race out to these Daleks and explained everything to them. So she has to get rid of them. And what she does is she tricks them all into another TARDIS. She uses the spare TARDIS that had been sitting on Earth, and uses its chameleon circuit to disguise it as her TARDIS, lures the Daleks in, locks them in, and then has the TARDIS collapse upon itself and go into the heart of the void where it would be destroyed with everything in it. Now, one, that is a brilliant move, but she killed a TARDIS. Like, not only did she kill a TARDIS, she ordered it to self-sacrifice. That is super hardcore. Because, I mean, it's a sentient being. Everybody knows that. The TARDIS is a living thing. They're grown, not built. It has lives. It sees. It feels. It has a soul. And so the fact that she ordered it to go and kill itself is insane. But it could have been saved with a little bit of dialogue. Just a little bit of dialogue. You see, had she explained that this was a necessary sacrifice and that she would ask the TARDIS to do that, if she asks the TARDIS to do this and self-sacrifice, it would have been a little bit better than her just ordering it to kill itself and the Daleks for the sake of the Daleks, because she stopped the Daleks before and she didn't have to sacrifice a TARDIS for it. There are no more TARDISes. She has the only one in existence that we're aware of. And it makes sense to back up your backup, have another TARDIS. Let it sit somewhere. Yes, that's the argument I was going to make. Was it Christopher Eccleston when he regenerated? It was his last episode. He made mention of leave the TARDIS alone, let it grow old and die. Actually, he did make mention of letting it sit and grow old and die. Nobody noticed it. Nobody remember it. But I mean, if the Doctor went and took it out for a spin every so often, she could have saved that TARDIS. I mean, I know, yes, eventually the TARDIS would have died anyways, but self-sacrifice, it's a little rough. But I get it. It's fine. I wish somebody would just fist bump Graham for me one time. Like, just fist bump him instead of leaving him hanging like a moron. I hate that. I love Graham. He's easily the best companion, or of the new companions. Anywho, as the Doctor was saying goodbye to Ryan and Graham, Yaz made mention that she wasn't ready to let the Doctor go yet, meaning she knows that she's going to have to let the Doctor go, but once again, she's not ready to let her go. And I just subtle undertones. I feel like Yaz is very much in love with the Doctor and is going to end up with her. This may be somewhat of a controversial opinion, but like, I don't think we needed to see Grace at all. I mean, a picture on a shelf somewhere, absolutely. But Ryan and Graham on a hill, failing to learn how to ride a bike yet again because of the dyspraxia. I'm not trying to hate on anybody with dyspraxia, but I was really hoping that he was gonna ride the bike. It's Doctor Who. It didn't give it a happy ending, or at least as happy an ending as I would have liked. So we really did need to see Grace in the sun, or at least both of them didn't need to have that mass hallucination or shared hallucination between the two of them to actually think that they saw Grace because she wasn't there. run myself kind of hoarse. Do I have water? Oh, I have water. So all in all, I'm to understand, like I said, it's just rumors at this point that Jodie Whittaker's leaving. I don't think there's any actual confirmation. But if she does leave, I'm really upset. I feel like she was let down by the writers. She was let down by the BBC and the fan base. The fan base, it's like with Star Wars, you guys. You really do hate hard. Y'all hate really hard, and you bully, and I mean we bully because I'm part of the fandom too. But we really come down hard on her for the wrong reasons. Jodie Whittaker was an amazing doctor, and she will be missed. I feel like we should get rid of Chris Chinball and then get a new head writer in there. Like, what's Gaddis? What's Mark Gaddis doing? He wrote some really good episodes. Get a new head writer in there and then give Jodie Whittaker another try because I feel like she really could have done well. Well, that's all I've got for you. Like I said, the episode, I know I complained a lot about it here, but I enjoyed it for the most part. I would love to see more Captain Jack. Even a better goodbye next time. Jesus, that was awful. I would really like to see more Captain Jack. And if you're going to name drop Gwen, bring Gwen in. She hasn't done anything in a while. I mean, she hasn't done Doctor Who in a while. It's been over a decade. It's been since 2010. So yeah, it's been over a decade. We all want to see Gwen Cooper. She's amazing. Y'all are amazing. Be excellent to each other. Oh, and hit me up in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and party on, dudes.